This Monday morning, all eyes will be on the holy city of Varanasi. The stage is set for the Prime Minister's grand welcome. He's going to be inaugurating what he's pitched as his dream project. Prime Minister Modi will reach the Kashi Vishwanath corridor via boat to inaugurate the project worth 700 crore rupees at around 1 this afternoon. The mega project, expected to boost tourism in Modi's home turf, directly connects the temple with the Ganga Ghat. The Kashi corridor now has 23 new buildings for pilgrims and 40 restored temples. Around 3,000 CS are on the invite list. The massive corridor is spread over 5 lakh square feet area and is being seen as the Prime Minister's mega Vikas push ahead of the UP Assembly polls. The Prime Minister's grand inauguration event will take place after his darshan and aarti at the main temple and will be followed by an informal meeting with the chief ministers of several states on a river cruise. So this is an informal meeting. The Prime Minister will also attend the Ganga Aarti and the festivities being hosted at the river ghat.
एक तय समय सीमा के अंदर भव्य धाम न केवल भारत के आस्थावान श्रद्धालु जनों के लिए बल्कि काशी को वैश्विक पहचान देने की दिशा से आज तैयार हो गया है। पूरा काशी अपने लोकप्रिय सांसद और देश के लोकप्रिय प्रधानमंत्री जी के स्वागत के लिए उतावला है, आनंदित है। ये कभी आनंद कानन हुआ करता था, आज हर एक काशीवासी इस आनंद कानन का अनुभव काशी विश्वनाथ धाम के माध्यम से कर रहा है और यह धाम बनकर के तैयार हो चुका है।
देखिए, ये हम सबके लिए बहुत ही खुशी का विषय है कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा कल काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर का धाम का श्री गणेश होगा और ये जो 3000 स्क्वायर फीट की जगह थी मंदिर के परिसर की, वो आज 50,000 स्क्वायर मीटर की जगह बनी है और भव्य मंदिर बन करके और मंदिर का नवीनीकरण हुआ है। बाबा का आशीर्वाद आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पर है और रहेगा और साथ ही साथ बाबा का आशीर्वाद सारे देश और दुनिया के लिए मंगलमय कामना के लिए हमेशा रहता है।
Kashi Vishwanath corridor, the place where we are reporting from, and first I want to go through directly to the visuals of this majestic Kashi Vishwanath temple. The way it has been made into things, this is just beyond imagination. Nobody imagined Kashi Vishwanath to be like this. The entire corridor, my cameraman Neeraj is showing you the visuals of this entire corridor. How beautifully this entire corridor has been decked up with flowers, with lightnings. The entire scenario matches somewhere and somehow to the Deepotsava of Ayodhya, and the same scenario is now happening in Varanasi, the constituency of Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. And see the lamps, the way it has been lighted up, the entire scenario, the architecture of these buildings are themselves telling a story that development can happen if one wishes to, and the devotees are thronging the temple of Kashi Vishwanath to take blessings of Lord Shiva. As Prime Minister is all set for the visit of in Varanasi, the stage is set for the mega inauguration of Kashi Vishwanath corridor. With cameraman Neeraj Kumar, Samarth Srivastava for India Today.
So as Samarth just showed you, Varanasi is clearly all decked up ahead of the mega inauguration of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. Preparations in the holy city are on in full swing right up till the last minute to welcome Prime Minister Modi in his constituency. The 800 crore rupees project will allow pilgrims to have a direct access to River Ganga from the temple. Here's all that you need to know about this mega project.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream project, the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, is finally a reality. Built over a sprawling area of 5,000 hectares, the grand structure is 50 feet long. The corridor connects the ancient Kashi Vishwanath temple of Lord Shiva with 2 revered ghats of holy Ganga. The corridor will immensely ease the access of pilgrims to the ghats, bypassing the narrow lanes in the millennium-old city. The structure in Prime Minister Modi's home constituency Varanasi will decongest the temple complex, earlier surrounded by buildings on 3 sides. The dazzling inauguration ceremony is named Divya Kashi Bhavya Kashi. The city is decked up to welcome Prime Minister Modi. To mark the occasion, a colourful Shiv Barat was taken out in this city of Lord Shiva.
Excitement hai aap log. You can see a lot of number of students from Kashi have arrived at this place.
Enthusiasm and excitement surround Varanasi as devotees celebrate the mega event.
एक्चुअली एक तरह से हम लोग अपने विद्यालय में जैसे देव दिवाली बनारस में मनती है वैसे हम लोग शिव दिवाली मना रहे हैं.
BJP has planned month-long celebrations to mark the inauguration. Uttar Pradesh government will be distributing laddus as prasad to 8 lakh households of Varanasi.
वो भी बहुत अच्छा है. भगवान के लिए हम लोग प्रसाद बना रहे हैं और 8 लाख रुपया 8 लाख बांटने के लिए प्रसाद बना रहे हैं. बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है.
Women from different villages have come here to prepare these besan laddus as order has been given to various centers. More than 3,500 centers have been made for the distribution purposes, while orders have been given to many famous shopkeepers.
The corridor is expected to give a mega boost to the religious tourism of Varanasi. Facilities for tourists have been enhanced without tampering with the original structure of the ancient Kashi Vishwanath temple. Among the part of the corridor are an over 7,000 square meter platform where 10,000 people can meditate. It also has 7 grand entrance gates for easy pilgrim movement. Hundreds of small temples have been made a part of the corridor. The mega spiritual and Vikas push in Modi's own turf may give a mega fillip to the Yogi Adityanath government ahead of the 2022 UP polls. Bureau Report, India Today.
And considering this is happening in the run-up to the Uttar Pradesh elections, politics has broken out over the inauguration event of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has claimed that the Kashi corridor project was actually approved during the SP's term. Akhilesh has slammed the BJP and called the mega celebration a bid to deflect people's attention from the Prime Minister's failure to double the income of farmers. Akhilesh further added that the Samajwadi Party's government passed and approved the Kashi Vishwanath corridor project during its regime, and he says he has documents to prove the same. Now, this credit war over Vikas between SP and BJP in the poll-bound state of Uttar Pradesh is in fact escalating further over the Kashi Vishwanath corridor project, and in fact in the last few months over several projects that the BJP has inaugurated. Let's move on to some other stories that we're tracking this Monday morning. In Karnataka, the winter session of the Assembly will be kicking off today, and it's going to be a stormy start. The first Assembly session in 3 years will be held in Belagavi and will witness a major showdown over the Karnataka Anti-Conversion Bill. Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai has hinted at bringing the Anti-Conversion Bill in the Belagavi Assembly session. The Karnataka Chief Minister has said that it will be introduced in this session, and the government is hopeful of getting it passed. Many Christian organizations, including the Archdiocese of Bangalore, have raised their doubts that this law will be used to target Christians in the state. Bangalore Archbishop Reverend Peter Machado had also written a letter to the Chief Minister against the Anti-Conversion Bill. These kind of legislations have already been passed in several BJP-ruled states, including Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and in Gujarat, with others like Haryana also considering a similar legislation. Rahul Gandhi made headlines this weekend. He's back on the Hindutva bandwagon. Addressing a full house during Congress's show of strength in Jaipur, Rahul Gandhi said that there's a clear distinction between Hindu and Hindutvavadi. He said that the country is being ruled by power-thirsty Hindutvavadis, and this comment has birthed a new political controversy with the BJP and the AIMIM jumping in.
आपका पूरा परिवार, ये गांधी परिवार, हिंदू धर्म को चाहता नहीं. You have a pathological hatred against Hinduism.
मैं हिंदू हूं, मगर हिंदुत्ववादी नहीं हूं. महात्मा गांधी हिंदू, गोडसे हिंदुत्ववादी.
The BJP Congress face-off over Hindutva just got bigger. Second time in a month's time, Rahul is back with Hindu versus Hindutva attacks. The big attack came in the Congress's show of power during its Mehengai Hatao Maharali in Jaipur.
देश को जनता नहीं चला रही है. देश को 3-4 पूंजीपति चला रहे हैं.
Rahul launched a scathing attack on Prime Minister Modi, calling him a Hindutvavadi who can kill for power.
हिंदुत्ववादियों को किसी भी हालत में सत्ता चाहिए. ये कहते हैं मुझे सत्ता चाहिए, सच्चाई से मुझे कुछ लेना देना नहीं.
Rahul Gandhi drew a clear distinction between his idea of Hinduism with the Saffron Party's Hindutva.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने छाती में चाकू मारा, आगे से नहीं, यूं नहीं, आगे से नहीं, पीछे से. क्यों? क्योंकि हिंदुत्ववादी है. हिंदू अगर मारता तो आगे से मारता, हिंदुत्ववादी है तो पीछे से मारेगा. देश की राजनीति में आज 2 शब्दों की टक्कर है. एक शब्द हिंदू, दूसरा शब्द हिंदुत्ववादी, और इनका मतलब बिल्कुल अलग है. मैं हिंदू हूं, मगर हिंदुत्ववादी नहीं हूं. ये झूठे हिंदू, ये झूठे हिंदू. एक तरफ हिंदुत्ववादी और दूसरी तरफ सच्चे हिंदू, प्यार वाले हिंदू.
Jaipur on Sunday became a witness to another attempt at relaunching Rahul Gandhi through his Hindu versus Hindutva speech. Clearly, the Congress has been working on a two-pronged strategy. One, to corner the Modi government over the issues of unemployment and price rise, and on the other, to try to project Rahul Gandhi as a leader of the future.
Rahul's comment drew the ire of BJP, who called it an attack on all Hindus.
Once again, Rahul Gandhi has mocked the astha of millions of Hindus by saying that Hinduwadis can kill for power. Would he say this about any other religion or faith? This has become not a coincidence but a pattern and a design.
सबको गर्व है हिंदू होने का, हिंदूवादी होने का. इन्होंने जिस तरीके से विभाजित करने की कोशिश की, ऐसा लगता है कि वो हिंदू के खिलाफ हैं, हिंदुत्ववाद के खिलाफ हैं, राष्ट्रवाद के खिलाफ हैं.
The comments were slammed by AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi. Owaisi said that the ground for Hindutva was fertilized by the Congress, and now Rahul is trying to harvest it. A month ago, Rahul had similarly used Hindutva to target the BJP.
Is Hinduism about beating a Sikh or a Muslim? Hindutva, of course, is.
With just months left for the UP polls, all parties are eyeing to consolidate the majority Hindu vote. But will targeting Hindutva help Rahul win back lost grounds?
Today in Jaipur, In detail, he has explained as to how he and the Congress party stands for Hinduism, whereas BJP and RSS stands for Hindutva. Well, BJP has hit back at the Congress's former president, but poll pundits are saying that the stage is set for a fiery battle before the big showdown of 2024 as far as the issue of Hinduism versus Hindutva is concerned. With the journalist Sanjeev, Supriya Bhardwaj for India Today in Jaipur.
Here's an update that's coming from the World Health Organization. Answering several questions about the Omicron variant, the WHO has confirmed that Omicron is more transmissible than the Delta strain and reduces vaccine efficacy, but also that the Omicron variant causes less severe symptoms. This is according to early data that the WHO has collated, which confirms that yes, it's more transmissible, yes, it reduces vaccine efficacy, but is not as severe as the likes of the Delta strain. And Omicron cases in India also continue to surge. The case tally now stands at 38 here in the country, with 5 new cases being reported on Sunday. Kerala reported its first case of the mutant variant, a UK returnee from Ernakulam. The passenger had arrived in the state via Abu Dhabi. Andhra Pradesh and Punjab too have reported their first cases on Sunday. 34-year-old traveller who came from Ireland to Mumbai and then went to Visakhapatnam tested positive, while a 20-year-old traveller who arrived in Chandigarh from Italy tested positive for Omicron. Delhi has reported its second Omicron case now. A 35-year-old with travel history to Zimbabwe and South Africa. Karnataka, meanwhile, has reported its third Omicron case, a 34-year-old who returned from South Africa. And if you look at really the tally, it's Maharashtra that has the highest number of Omicron cases. 18 people have tested positive for Omicron in the state so far. The latest case is of a 40-year-old from Nagpur who arrived from South Africa on December 5th.
കേരളത്തിൽ ഒരു ഒമിക്രോൺ പോസിറ്റീവ് കേസ് റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുകയാണ്. യുകെയിൽ നിന്ന് വന്ന ഒരു പാസഞ്ചറിനാണ് 8-ാം തീയതി നടത്തിയ പരിശോധനയിലാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പോസിറ്റീവാണ് എന്ന് കണ്ടത്. അതിനുശേഷം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സാമ്പിൾസ് പരിശോധിച്ചു. 149 പേരായിരുന്നു ഫ്ലൈറ്റിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. എല്ലാവരെയും ഇൻഫോം ചെയ്തു. ഭാര്യയും അമ്മയും പോസിറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇവരെ പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ട് ഐസൊലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വാർഡിലേക്ക് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തെ മാറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ അമ്മയും വൈഫിനെയും മാറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Red Bull's Max Verstappen defeated Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes in a controversial final race to win his maiden F1 World Championship title at the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina circuit. Here's all that happened in the final race.
Red Bull's Max Verstappen is the new Formula 1 champion. There was more controversy as race director initially said lapped cars between Hamilton and Verstappen would not be allowed to unlap themselves as is normal practice, but later changed his mind. The race was restarted with 1 lap to go with Verstappen on fresh tyres and Hamilton on old ones, and the Dutchman swept past to win the race to win his Formula 1 championship. While Hamilton was in disbelief, Verstappen erupted in joy to bring an end to one of the most exciting F1 seasons. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Absolutely have no idea.
And with that, it's time for me to slip into a short break here on First Up. We'll be right back with all the latest news and updates we're tracking this Monday.